Well, hello. First of all, I want to say thank you for participating in the 316T project. When your lantern arrives, it's going to arrive partially disassembled. There'll be lantern parts in one box and the globe in another box. When handling your globe, it's glass, so be careful. Either pick it up like this or two hands like this. Try to avoid just grabbing the edge and picking it up. On one occasion, I had a globe fail, it cracked. These are handmade globes, so there's a little variation in thickness of glass and all that. There's only one place that makes them, so we have to kind of be careful of that. So anyway, this is what we're going to do. When your lantern arrives, it's going to have the shade, the vent cone, and it'll be like this. What you need to do is put the mast in place. It'll just fit on here, and you put the screws on. Now, because these lanterns are each handmade, there can be a little bit of variation. If your mast looks like it's real crooked, just flip it around the other edge and it'll be straight. So you put your mast in, bring the 1024 screws down, and then tighten it down. Now these, you can get these down pretty snug. You know, you don't want it so tight that it crushes the intake tube, but you want it tight enough so there's no wobble, okay? There's two set screws here, and those keep the shade from coming too far down. Now, depending on the particular globe that you get, this bottom opening might be a little wider or thinner. On some of them, you can put your vent cone on and slip it right over there on an angle. But on some, you have to put the globe in first, turn it on an angle like that to clear the manifold tubes, and then bring your vent cone down. These are flexible, and you'll probably have to pooch it just a little to get the manifold tubes to come through the cone. Okay, once you got that, you can put your shade on. The shade has clips to keep it from going too far down. But the set screws, the two set bolts I showed you, they're set so that the globe doesn't go too far down. Without those, you can screw the shade down so tight that the globe itself will have no play. So you just want it so there's a little bit of wobble like that. If it's so tight you don't have the wobble, what could happen is as the glass heats and expands, it'll push against the clips and it might shatter. I've never had that happen because I told guys to be careful. So anyway, that's how you put it back together. Now, inside the globe, let me take this off so I can show you. There's a little preheater cup. If you fill that with denatured alcohol and light it, you'll get about 3 minutes of burn time, which is enough to heat the generator. The generator has to be sufficiently hot so that when the liquid gas enters it, it vaporizes, and the vapor coming up and air coming in make a combustible combination. Then you can light it. If you don't allow the generator to preheat enough and you light it, you'll be dumping a little bit of raw fuel into your burner assembly, and you'll get a pretty dramatic bonfire. It'll burn off, but it's scary and it makes everything sooty and dirty, so you want to try to avoid that. Now, typically when I pressure test these, I put in about a half a pint of fuel. That would be about this much fuel in a mason jar. And I give it 20 pumps with a pump this size. A lot of pumps are narrower, and that's okay too. But these things like clean fuel and they like pressure. So what you do is you light it, and as your denatured alcohol burns down, you'll kind of be able to see where it's getting close to the bottom. Just give the valve a quick little bump open and then close it. Some fuel will come up and the mantle should iridesce. If it doesn't, give it another little bump and close it until you can see that the mantles are burning. Then you can open it up. Depending on the mantles you're using, if you use Peerless mantles or any others, some mantles take a while to burn in. So it'll illuminate, but it might take 15 minutes until it reaches its maximum brightness. That's not unusual. Okay, so I realize that these things are kind of an investment, and I appreciate the guys that participate. Pardon me. If you have questions or issues or anything like that, feel free to get a hold of me. I want to make sure that everybody's enjoying their 316T or 316TY. All right, thanks again. You all have a good week. Goodbye.